So this is going to be another movie review. This one's called The Howling, 1981. Giving it 5 out of 5 stars. I love this flick. This is going to be another Adrian mention. Imagine your worst fear a reality. That's what the movie poster says. They marketed this as a slasher film, but it's actually a werewolf film. U.S. horror film directed by Joe Dante. His first attempt at going lamestream. It is based on the novel of the same name by Gary Bradner. The film stars Dee Wallace, who played Elliot's mom in E.T. the Extraterrestrial. Patrick Macnee, who likes the nudity in this one because he likes to play tennis in the nude. Patrick Macnee, Dennis Dugan, and Robert Picardo. I don't know the last two guys. The Howling was released in the U.S. on March 13th, 1981, and it became a moderate success, grossing $17.9 million at the box office. It received generally positive reviews, with praise for the makeup special effects by Rob Bottin, who looks like Rob Bottin looks like what's that guy's name? Bob Seger. He looks like Bob Seger. Rob Bottin. The film won the 1980 Saturn Award for Best Horror Film while still in development and was one of 3 high-profile werewolf themes horror films released in 1981 alongside An American Werewolf in London and Wolfen. Its financial success aided Dante's career and prompted Warner Brothers to hire Dante as director and Michael Fennell, who looks like a total nerd, as producer for Gremlins. A series consisting of 7 sequels arose from the film's success. Oh, kind of similar to Amityville Horror, although I like the sequels better. In Amityville Horror, a remake is in development with Andy Muschietti set to direct. Karen White is a Los Angeles television news anchor who is being stalked by serial killer Eddie Quist. Eddie Quist is creepy, man. He is creepy. In cooperation with the police, she takes part in a scheme to capture Eddie by agreeing to meet him in a sleazy porn theater. I think that got my son's attention because my son hates porn. He thinks it's evil, satanic. Eddie forces Karen to watch a video of a young woman being bound and raped. Yeah, we don't get to see much of the video, but there is some nudity there. And when Karen turns around to see Eddie, she screams. The police enter and shoot Eddie. And although Karen is safe, she suffers amnesia. Her therapist, Dr. George Wagner, the sleazy therapist television guy, played by none other than Patrick Macnee. He plays Dr. Phil. All right. He decides to send her and her husband, Bill Neal, to the colony, which is appropriately named because I bet you Patrick Macnee has been to a lot of nudist colonies during his lifetime. A secluded resort, and this one has full frontal nudity, which is why Patrick Macnee likes the movie so much. A secluded resort in the countryside where he sends patients for treatment. Yeah, right. They're a bunch of werewolves. The colony is filled with strange characters, and one, a sultry nymphomaniac named Marcia. She's the one who gets the full frontal in this one. Shocking for a rated R movie. She tries to seduce Bill. When he resists her unsubtle sexual overtones, he's attacked and scratched on the arm by a werewolf while returning to his cabin. After Bill's attack, Karen summons her friend Terry Fisher to the colony, and Terry connects the resort to Eddie through a sketch he left behind, having previously discovered that Eddie's body disappeared from the morgue. Just got up and left. That Eddie is invincible. He even gets acid sprayed in his face by Elliot's mother. And he still comes back. Karen begins to suspect that Bill is hiding a secret far more threatening than marital infidelity. Later that night, Bill meets Marcia at a campfire in the woods. Yeah, that's the full frontal scene. That's a reason to watch this. Well, there are a lot of reasons to watch this. While having sex in the moonlight, they undergo a frightening transformation into werewolves. Yeah, no more nudity. It's all off camera, kind of simulated sex. But before that, she takes off all her clothes, man. And she's walking with the front of her body facing the camera. Quite shocking. While investigating the next morning, and she's got hairy beaver too, so you can't see much. While investigating the next morning, Terry is attacked by a werewolf in a cabin, though she escapes after cutting the monster's hand off with an axe. That was a really loud scene on my portable DVD player. My son turned it down from 20 down to 5. The sound level from 20 to 5. And he took a glimpse of the werewolf's hand doing this. She runs to Wagner's office and places a phone call to her boyfriend, Chris Halloran, who has been alerted about the colony's true nature. While on the phone with Chris, Terry looks for files on Eddie Quist. When she finally finds the file in the filing cabinet, she's attacked by Eddie in werewolf form. And she's killed when she is bitten on the jugular vein. Ooh, lots of blood in this one. Another reason to watch. Chris hears this on the other end and sets off for the colony armed with silver bullets from Dick Miller's bookstore. Karen is confronted by the resurrected Eddie Quist once again, and Eddie transforms himself into a werewolf in front of her. This is a famous scene. I even heard about this scene when I was in grade school. I think I was in 6th grade or something when this movie came out. In response, Karen splashes Eddie in the face with corrosive acid and flees. Later, as Chris arrives at the colony, he is confronted by the horribly disfigured Eddie. Another cool makeup job. He was fatally shot by Chris with a silver bullet when he attempts to transform. However, it turns out all the people in the colony are werewolves, and they can shapeshift at will without the need of a full moon to do so. Oh. So this movie makes its own werewolf rules. Pretty cool. Kind of like Dark Shadows, I guess. Karen and Chris survive their attacks and they burn the colony to the ground as they drive away. However, one werewolf breaks into their car and it bites Karen before being shot by Chris, turning back into Bill as he dies. Karen resolves to warn the entire world about the existence of werewolves. She begins a special worldwide broadcast announcement to the people around the world. Then, to prove her story, she herself transforms into a werewolf. Another cool scene. This movie has many great scenes in it. I loved it. Plus, it's got Forrest J. Ackerman in Dick Miller's bookstore. Dick Miller says, "Are you going to buy that?" He's playing with cards or something. And then you see Roger Corman in a phone booth. Elliot's mother is on the phone with Eddie. And next scene, Roger Corman is in the phone booth looking for dimes in the coin slot. All right, she's shot by Chris in front of a live viewing audience. Snuff television. Although the people watching the transformation from the television sets around the world, believing it to be just a stunt with special effects, but the drunk guy thinks it's for real. All right. That's about as far as I'm going to go with the ending. Though the film has been noted for its semi-humorous screenplay, it was adopted from a more straightforward novel by Gary Brandner, novel by the same name, which was published in 1977 after drafts by Jack Conrad, the original director, who left following difficulties with the studio, and Terry H. Winkless proved unsatisfactory. Director Joe Dante hired John Sayles to completely rewrite the script. The two had collaborated before on Dante's 1978 film Piranha. That's another Adrian mention. Sayles rewrote the script with the same self-aware satirical tone that he gave Piranha. No wonder Adrian likes this movie so much. Same director, same scriptwriter as Piranha. And his finished draft bears only a vague resemblance to Brandner's book. However, Winkless still received a co-writer's credit along with Sayles for his work on the screenplay. I think both of them are on the bonus features. So many dang bonus features on this. That's why I couldn't finish it yesterday. The cast featured a number of recognizable character actors such as Kevin McCarthy, John Carradine, Kenneth Tobey, and Slim Pickens, many of whom appeared in genre films themselves. Additionally, the film was full of in-joke references. See tributes below. All right. Roger Corman makes a cameo appearance as a man standing outside a phone booth, as does John Sayles, appearing as a morgue attendant, and James Murdoch as one of the members of the colony. Forrest J. Ackerman appears in a brief cameo in an occult bookstore, clutching a copy of an issue of his magazine, Famous Monsters of Finland. My stepdad used to collect that magazine. The Howling was also notable for its special effects, which were state-of-the-art at the time. It's all practical effects. None of that CGI stuff. The transformation scenes were created by Rob Bottin, the Rob Bottin, the Bob Seger lookalike dude with the hairy chest. He looks like a werewolf himself, who had also worked with Dante on Piranha. Rick Baker was the original effects artist for the film, but left the production to work on a John Landis film, An American Werewolf in London, handing over the effects work to Boat. Boughton's most celebrated effect was the on-screen transformation of Eddie Quist, which involved air bladders using latex facial applications. I thought they were condoms to give the illusion of transformation. Variety claimed that the Howling's biggest flaw is that the impact of this initial transformation is never topped during the climax of the film. I thought Elliot's mother's transformation was pretty decent. I was satisfied. I wasn't disappointed. The Howling also features stop motion animation by David W. Allen and puppetry intended to give the werewolves an even more non-human look. Despite most of the special effects at the time, the silhouette of Bill and Marcia having sex as werewolves is obviously a cartoon animation. Dante attributed this to budgetary reasons. Due to their work in The Howling, Dante and producer Michael Fennell received the opportunity to make the film Gremlins for Steven Spielberg. Steven Spielberg even liked one of the actors in the film, I think. That film references The Howling with the smiley face image on a refrigerator door. Eddie Quist leaves yellow smiley face stickers as his calling card in several places throughout The Howling. Also, Jim McCrell's character as news reporter Lou Landers appears in both The Howling and Gremlin. There you go. Jim McCrell. Pino Donaggio composed the score, which featured classic orchestral horror melodies with minimal synth sounds. Waxworks Records released the full soundtrack on double LP in 2017. The album art was done by Francisco Francavilla. The film grossed $1.1 million. The film was ranked number one for the week. However, Black Roads, which opened in 635 more theaters, grossed more nationally with $3 million. The Howling grossed $17.9 million in the United States and Canada. There have been 7 sequels to The Howling. In May 2015, a newly formed production company bought the rights to the original film, and we're working on a 9th film, a remake of the original. In 2020, Andy Muschietti was hired to direct the remake for Netflix comic book series by Space Ghost Productions entitled The Howling, Revenge of the Werewolf Queen. Began production in May 2017, acting as a direct sequel to the original film, ignoring the film sequel. All right. So this is a must-see for all horror fans. If you like Werewolf, if you like the original Wolfman from Lon Chaney, you're going to love this. It's got John Carradine. What more can I say? Oh, there's 69omega.com in the chat room. Too bad. You're gone. I mean, it's got Lon Chaney, Forrest J. Ackerman, Dick Miller. It's got so many actors in there. Recognizable faces. Roger Corman. Elliot's mother from E.T. I didn't even know that she was a big horror star. Big time horror star until watch the bonus features on The Howling. I got the Shout Factory disc, which has a ton of bonus features. It's a special edition of The Howling, and they put they packed it all on one disc. They didn't do the bonus features on one disc and the movie on another disc. They just packed it all on one disc, which is great because Netflix won't send me the second disc if it's like a Criterion Collection thing. All right. Well, that was very enjoyable. Nice mention, Adrian. Very, very enjoyable. I wish I could watch Piranha, but it's not available on Netflix or something. Anyways, that's the end of my review. Later.